Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan, and we're doing Stranger Things Part 2 today.
Stranger Things Part 2.
Volume 2.
I came here representing today.
You did. I came representing our old podcast.
Our old podcast that's a little bit irrelevant now, but, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I got the spirit.
We got the spirit. Yeah, it's all part of the legacy, you know, much like this show is all about, you know, nostalgia.
Very nostalgic with Nightmare on Elm Street references to Halloween references, all the 80s.
This is, you know, this show is keeping the 80s alive, and I like that about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I may, I'll suck it up for this podcast. Like, you know, it's hot, it's summer. This is a sweatshirt, but we got AC, so
it's not
we're
that
good.
hot here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I was sweating earlier when I had the AC off for something else, but
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. Well, now the AC's back on.
Yeah.
Let's turn up the heat with our Stranger Things 2 podcast right now. Stranger Things, Volume 2, Part 2, whatever you want to call it.
I think they're calling it Volume 2.
They are calling it Volume 2.
Technically, but, you know, it's going to be Part 2 in our thumbnail because I can't fit Volume in it.
All right, well.
Without it looking good, so.
Episode 8, Papa.
Yeah,
So,
Papa. Yeah, interesting title. I don't
very
think...
fitting title. No, I think it's very fitting.
You think? Okay.
Like, Brenner was a big start for, like, the first half of the season. Like, him coming back was a big thing. Like, the very first scene was him. So, like...
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I don't know. It just didn't... he just doesn't feel as important of a part of the show as everything else, you know?
Disagree.
Really? Well, I know it all starts... It starts with him, but, like, 11 is definitely... 11 doesn't even... It definitely feels more like an ensemble cast at this point.
Oh, this show is definitely...
The first season, I really felt that either Mike or 11 was the main character, and I was trying to figure out who potentially the main character would be. Because season 2 felt more like Will, you know, a little bit, because he's taken by the Mind Flayer and stuff. And season 3, that's when it became a full ensemble thing with different storylines happening.
Yeah, I think it changes every season, because I think this season was heavily Max, heavily 11, heavily... No one else really.
Yeah,
well,
it was
the second
just
half heavily Lucas, and we'll get to that. But
I was glad to see Lucas get a
nice arc
time
there,
to shine.
But let's keep it on episode 8 here. So let's dive into that right now. So the very first thing we open with Vecna chasing Nancy,
just finishing up that part.
Yeah, and it's like tell 11 everything or whatever.
Yeah, just kind of a warning. So kind
of surprised he let her live.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because he wants to kill someone, and she's right there.
Yes, but I think he still wanted.
He wants Max. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
She's the most distraught. I mean, yes, Nancy has Barb, but I think he wants the more despair, the better for him.
Yeah, it's definitely that kind of thing, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. So that's the part, and then she starts seeing visions of what's going to come.
Yeah, that was.
And it went by really fast.
I gotta go back and watch that.
I didn't really see it, but apparently there was stuff about what she says later in the episodes. Like, he showed me things. Like, apparently her mom dies and Holly dies and Mike gets injured or something. And then I just remember seeing the cracks in the earthquake that they're gonna eventually call it. I remember seeing that happen. And we'll get to that later, exactly what that means for Hawkins and stuff. But
so I wonder if that's even more foreshadowing for season 5, which I don't think they would give that away right there and then. Although it was very quick, so people might forget about it too. So who knows? But I mean, if we know Stranger Things fans, they dive into everything. What we're doing right now.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I should mention now, but I'll go into more depth when we get to it in episode 9, because a lot of stuff happens in episode 9. I think that's definitely the highlight of this part. You know,
this part. Yes.
Episode 8 is definitely great, but episode 9 is where shit happens. But Stranger Things fans are so obsessed with the show that they were breaking down the Eddie guitar solo and trying to figure out which song it was.
Everything,
yeah, and we're and everyone's just oh, it's totally this song or it's totally that song, and I'm like, okay, that's so cool that everyone's just really into that, where they want to decipher everything.
Yeah, we even had a poll that we put up about who we think Eddie is saving from.
Yeah, it turns out he wasn't saving. Well, he was saving everyone, but he wasn't really saving a specific person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
which very
who won that poll? Was it Nancy, right?
Yeah. I believe Nancy won that poll.
Yeah, because she well, that makes sense because she was the one that was like under Vecna's spell after part 1, at the end of part 1. So, yeah. But anyway, I'll talk more about the Eddie guitar solo because I have to,
Well, I looked that up. Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta go back on some statements I made earlier in the trailer breakdown. If you guys have been following from the start of this whole Stranger Things era for season 4, we did trailer breakdown and I said something about the guitar solo, but we'll get to it. But anyway,
Nancy, 48%.
It was Nancy for okay. So after the next scene is where we go to Hopper's storyline, and when they're in the Russian prison, and I thought it was so cool that like he goes into the room and he finds that the Russians are doing like experiments on the Demodogs and like the Demogorgons.
Them.
Yeah,
it looked like cloning.
Like they were doing something with them, and like I'm just like, that's such a cool idea. And I really hope that we loop back to that idea, but without having to go back to Russia, because I don't want it to be in Russia. Well, I want it to be in Hawkins.
It's from Russia with Love right now in this whole season.
Yeah.
God.
And we talked about it.
And the last one, I did not like Hopper's storyline. I still don't like it. But you know what? It's for the fans. It's for the Jopper fans out there.
The Jopper.
Yeah.
Well, now they have some credence to that because they got together.
Yeah, they got together. They made out for a hot second, and then the phone rang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was really cool, and there's that one Demodog that has like open heart surgery on it. So they're trying to like. The Russians are ballsy for doing that. Like they want to like experiment and like figure out what makes this Demodog tick. And I'm like, you guys are fucking insane. But anyway, Hopper kills it with a single bullet to the head. And I'm just a little weird.
Was it the head or was it the heart? We don't know.
Something. He shoots it with one bullet, right?
I mean, its chest was wide open. You would assume it's probably the heart. That would probably definitely kill it.
Oh, is that the explanation? Okay, maybe that's it.
The chest was ripped open, basically. So.
Okay. So, because I was wondering how exactly, do Demodogs die? I know it's by fire. That's a big one. But he kills it with a bullet. And then later on in the next episode, he shoots a Demogorgon. They're a little different. But he shoots it like 10 times with an AK. And he doesn't flinch. Yeah. So, like, is it because it's the open heart? And, like I think the skin is, like, impenetrable?
Exposed, yeah.
Okay. That could be it.
That's what I would assume. I don't think there's much to really look into there with their biology.
And then we get the Russians have their own. It looks like they have their own gate or wherever they were keeping. I said it was the sandstorm looking thing in the lab. Apparently, that's the mind flayer.
Yeah.
So they somehow captured their own mind flayer in a box.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know how they did that. Maybe when she closed up in season 2, it somehow went back to Russia or something like that.
Well, the Russians were already under the Hawkins Mall.
Yes, but like
they were trying to make a gate.
Mind Flayer season 2 or was it season 3?
Mind Flayer was technically season 2 and 3. Season 2 was in the Upside Down. Season 3, he took took a physical form in Billy.
Right.
Which now we found out was Vecna.
So it makes sense that the Russians would have it now, if in a way they would have it. So
yeah. So what are they gonna? Is that gonna come back? You think? Because I'm excited to see what they can do. Like they opened up a gate, for lack of a better term, for like the lore to like really expand and like because we barely understand what the Upside Down is right now, and it's been 4 seasons. So like
they've been planting seeds, little seeds here and there, and I like what they're doing. And there's more to come in the next episode about that. But this. Yeah, I don't really know if it's going to come back, honestly.
I'd like it to, but I'm thoroughly satisfied with Russia right now because I don't want to go back. I'm kind of done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of done with Russia too.
It was a fun thing, but Yuri pisses me off, and like Hopper's like whole like I think if we introduced the Hopper storyline in episode 4. And
that's what I said last time.
Yeah.
I think it was episode 4 or 5, I said.
It would be, because it's such a condensed, and going back to my criticisms of last season, or the last part, there's so much happening that we can't get to certain things for a while.
It felt jumbled.
Yeah, and so it just felt like Hopper's story was like irrelevant. And
it still did.
Yeah, it's definitely the weakest of the season. I'm not saying it's bad writing, but I'm just saying it's the weakest of the season.
I agree with that.
Which says so much about the other stuff, because this show is so good. It's just
the writing, dude. Like even the whole season as a whole, the writing just like loops back to every little plot point. Like they tie it up so nicely, but they leave room for season 5, and I love it. They're such good writers, man.
I know. It's like it's almost like an anomaly because we just don't see it. We just don't see that today. We don't. We see like these are like this is like storytelling that's done like really low key movies, but we don't see it on a mainstream scale like this, and it's just awesome, man. It's just it's an anomaly. I don't understand it, and like it's unfortunate because I know this is how it used to be in like the 80s and 90s, where like big properties had great characters and storytelling, and now we might differ in opinions, but it just doesn't feel like that anymore. I
mean, with all the superhero movies out nowadays, like they're all
very formulaic.
In a way, yes, they're trying to break that mold nowadays, but it still is very heavily there with the formula. So,
and and people seem to like it. People come out in droves to see these big blockbuster movies. It just doesn't. Just doesn't. So.
Going back to Stranger Things, now back to the California crew.
Eleven's got her power back.
Yeah, 11's got her powers back. Now Will, Mike, Jonathan, and Argyle are all on their way back from Susie's house to try and pinpoint this location for Nina. So and there's this great scene with Will and Mike in the back of that
dude
train.
I know. I'm just like, you're not crying, I'm crying, or wait, I'm not crying, you're crying,
dude. That painting we saw Will working on in like the first episode of this season, he gives it to Mike, and it's like,
see, I thought he trashed it. I
thought
he threw it away at the roller rink.
Maybe he
fished it. He probably fished it back out.
He was one of them. Maybe he had more than one.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like he's been painting for the last 6 to 8 months, however long it's been in this.
Yeah. So they show the painting, and I literally thought it was going to be like a portrait of Mike or something like that, because Elle says in the monologue in the first episode, like, oh, he's making it for someone he likes, and so I figured, okay, like it's going to be a picture of Mike, know.
Technically,
it technically is,
yes,
but it's more about the D&D party, and I think he really attaches, which I think is a very good route to go for the Duffer Brothers. They attach it to the childhood friendship and how that grows into like affection and love for Mike, and like that's just such a good route to go. And so he's like, you have the heart and like of the party, and you keep us together. And like that's what's so great about you. And then he's using metaphors saying that like this is what Elle thinks. It's Will saying
it's what Will thinks. Yeah, and making Mike's symbol a heart too. It's like
it's like I heart you.
Yeah, it's
so originally, like in No Hate to Noah Schnapp, this is a very hard scene to do.
Without heart, we'd fall apart.
That's a good quote.
Yeah.
So it's a very hard scene to do. What he ends up doing, like having an emotional scene where you start crying. You have to keep that like secret to the rest of the actors in the scene. But like right in the beginning of the scene, I'm like, I wrote down, is it me or is this scene between Mike and Will not that good when it comes to acting? And then of course, like 2 minutes later, they proved me wrong. Where it's like this is like the best acting of the show.
He's like, oh,
it just felt like I really felt in the beginning that like they were reading lines. So maybe it must have been like a first day or first scene kind of thing of the day or something like that. They weren't in the groove. Maybe
it's supposed to be awkward. I mean, it is very awkward. It's supposed to be.
Yeah,
so like,
maybe. I don't know.
That's the whole theme of what
personal taste.
And then the last shot with Jonathan just being like, oh,
yeah, and that's so good. And I think it's in the next episode. Oh, I want so much to say about the next episode.
We'll talk about that when we get to it. But
I said, okay, damn, never mind. Noah Schnapp is eating this scene up, where he's just like, yeah, it's so good. It's and like that's what it just these actors. All of them, and especially Lucas or Caleb McLaughlin, which again in the next episode, I want to get to the next episode so bad, but they're all amazing actors, and that's why
they're all grown into it so well.
Yeah, this show really molded them. I don't know what the Duffer Brothers are doing because they directed both these episodes, right?
Yeah.
So however they direct these,
it's like them and Sean Levy. I mean,
they're really good at directing these kids.
Yeah.
It's magic on screen, right? So now we get back to the Hawkins clan, where they're all like, okay, how do we defeat Vecna? And this is such an 80s thing where there's just like the kids against the world. It's so I've missed it, and this show obviously brings it back. And they're like, okay, let's devise a plan. And there's just like this shoddy kind of like, we need to like become warriors to fight this mystical alternate dimension force of evil.
Yes.
And it's so cool. And so then they figure out a little bit of a choppy exposition scene. I'd say, they say, oh, this leads to this, leads to this. Overall, Vecna's plan is to kill 4 people and open up the gates to let the Upside Down spread into the real world, right?
Yes.
And then Eddie's like, and then they're just like, okay, so we need to go back into the Upside Down and fight him. And then Eddie's like, nope, nope. Yeah. So good, man. And I love Eddie.
But then, I
love Eddie now.
Yeah, Eddie's great. And then Max wants to try again to get Vecna. She wants to be the bait again.
Yeah. So I like that, like, Max isn't in the all clear after episode 4. She's still marked. And, like, I like that because, like, it just feels like a lesser show would just be like, oh, she's okay. Vecna got bored of her and, so he's not going to try again. What he does. And I just haven't seen that before.
Yeah. Oh. And then, oh, God. So they devise a plan to, why did he put on the Michael Myers mask again?
I do not understand that one.
Well, I mean, he is wanted still, so I guess he had to hide his face.
Oh, that's probably why. Okay.
But, like, where were they going? That was when they were sneaking to get weapons, right? Yeah, that's when
they were going to steal the RV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just fucking, like...
And then, oh, my God, then in the RV, like, Daddy Steve... Oh my God! He wants 3 girls, 3 boys.
Yeah, they're getting
Winnebago.
They're getting spicy, like
Oh.
I think it's a cute scene.
It's a very cute scene.
In these 2 episodes, there's a lot of like character interest and like little romance and like introspection.
And they had time for that in these episodes because they're so fucking long.
Oh yeah. Like I guarantee there's nothing left on the cutting room floor with these episodes. There's no possible way.
You don't need to. Like they were all most of these scenes. I think 95% of these scenes were all really good.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the Russia scenes.
Yeah,
and
they're not even bad. It's just not as good as everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, the Michael Myers mask, Nancy, Steve are getting spicy. So now we're getting kind of like a love triangle between Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve. But now it's more like legitimate. We're going back to the well, but we're improving on what came before. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't know who to pick. I was on Steve's side. Thinking like, because like Nancy and Jonathan are losing interest in each other. And like, Jonathan has very valid reasons being like, hey, Nancy wants to do her own thing and go off to her college. And I don't want to be her lackey following her because I want to have my own stuff to do. And then Steve obviously wants the Winnebago and the dream and stuff. And he, but then again, that might not necessarily fit with Nancy's, plan anyway. Mm-hmm. So like, I have a feeling they have 3 options, Nancy or Steve, Jonathan, or nobody.
It may end up that way in season 5. We don't know. But go back to Russia in the Katinka. That story was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Fucking Yuri in his first sexual conquest and naming his helicopter.
Katinka is still virgin for me.
Not real Katinka.
Yeah. I mean, okay, listen.
So quirky, man.
Yeah, he's okay. I just think he was just like a wrench thrown into the plan just because, just to extend the runtime a little bit.
You could also say the other security guard that helped him escape as well because he didn't really get too much in the second half of this show.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He was just kind of there. I mean, he had a little arc with like trying to get Yuri to come on their side and stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah, the Hopper storyline is definitely the Hopper and Joyce show in these 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's definitely Jopper. Back to Brenner. He's like, Levin, you can't leave with Sam, I believe, right? Yeah, Sam is the other doctor.
Paul Reiser?
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
I think his name is Sam.
I really don't know his name.
Anyway, well, Paul Reiser's character, let's just say that, wants 11 to come with him to, get out of there and go back to Hawkins.
This whole conflict between the 2 scientists, one's like the like analytical, one's the heart, so it's and I like how I think it's this episode. Yeah, it's this episode where they say mommy and daddy are fighting. I'm just like, they add so much like different like conflict between just different characters you didn't think.
even when they first got there in the first part of, or in volume 1, like I could always tell the tension. I'm like, oh, something's building for this. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does. Brenner traps Elle in the Nina chamber or whatever. Not in the chamber, but like the room the chamber is in.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't leave. She's like, fuck, I am walking out.
So I don't understand Brenner. I really don't understand. Okay, I understand his motivations because he thinks that Elle can take Vecna alone, but like, wouldn't like a sane person want as many people as possible to help with this
Brenner
situation?
Wants to face him as well. I think Brenner wanted to face Vecna as well at the same time. He wanted to make sure she was ready and that he was ready at the same time.
So did Brenner want to stop Vecna, or did Brenner want to?
No, he wanted to stop. I mean, he definitely wanted to stop him, but like he wanted to explain, or maybe like just talk to him some way or something. I don't know. Maybe try to talk him out of it. I don't know.
Okay, I think if there was like some sort of way that he would survive, which I'm not saying I want him to come back, because 2 deaths or 1 death is enough. You know, that isn't really explained how he survives. I wonder if his actual like motive, or if the Duffer Brothers are going to come out and say that like, oh, he wanted to harness Vecna's power for his own selfish, because that would be a cool twist thing at the end if they did that.
I don't see Brenner doing that. I don't see it for his character.
Yeah.
I mean, he's evil, but he's not pure evil. Like, he has good intentions behind what he's doing, but it's just he's so stuck in his ways and stubborn. He doesn't see any other way to get this done.
Yeah.
Like the other Doctor does.
I feel like he's like a Howard Stark, where like in Endgame he's just like, the world's problems have rarely outweighed my self-interest. That's where he's pretty much at, right?
Or just Doctor Strange in general.
Dude, this whole military scene is straight out of Star Wars. Remember when the military raids it?
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's the opening to A New Hope.
It
where
is.
Like
You're right.
the guards inside, or the MPs are just like.
See, I was half paying attention at that point. I think I was like distracted by something else, so I didn't really catch that.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was like, because they have the close-ups on the guards' faces, and so I have that like imprinted on my brain, like with the guards on the Tantive 4. I was like, that's so cool.
I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's really cool. And then like and then like the stormtroopers like completely, or well, the military completely, plows everybody inside.
Yeah, and Sullivan walks in right after that, so like,
it's like, it's not as grand as Darth Vader, but like
nothing's as grand as Darth Vader.
But
it's still, it's still very cool. Shit.
Yeah.
I did not.
And that's a good TikTok.
Damn it! Did not pick up on that.
And then we get basically, so that ends up with a fight outside of the facility, and then we get 11.
We didn't talk about 11. She almost killed Papa. Like when she put him up against the tank. Like she like.
I forgot about that.
She's like, "No, you are not stopping me." And then he had already like injected her at that point though, so she kind of like.
Oh yeah, and then they arrest or put. You just say him Sam.
I think it's Sam, but yeah, let's go with Paul Reiser.
Put him in the thing. They put him in a holding cell or whatever.
Yeah,
handcuff him. So what's going to happen to him in the next season? You think? Because he gets taken by.
I think he's just jailed.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not as important to the whole thing.
He's important, but he's not. Yeah, he's not.
He's like the angel on 11's shoulder for this season.
But yeah, like 11's line when she's like, "If you try to stop me, I will kill you." Like,
and she's not joking.
She is done with him. She's done with his fucking bullshit. But yeah, so this one scene, I was like, "Uh-oh, this doesn't look good for some of these characters." Like,
wait.
Like when Dustin and Eddie are playing, I'm just like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I'm just like,
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, well, because they're all making the weapons. Right? I remember you saying. I didn't write any notes on this, but yeah,
that immediately caught my attention. I'm like,
yeah, someone's gonna die.
Someone's dying.
One of these is gonna.
It's gonna be one of that in that group. I'm just like, it was a very good thing that caught my. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. Caught my attention.
Yeah.
The Argyle crew, the California crew, kind of come across the
like the whole battle that's just
not
happening.
really. They come across the tracks and they follow the tracks.
Oh yeah, yeah,
the car
yeah.
tracks and everything.
Yeah, and then they end up going into like the battle between the military and the scientists.
Yeah, Brenner carries 11 out when
Yeah.
they raid and everything, and he keeps getting shot at by the helicopter. He takes like 3 bullets.
Yeah.
And just gets knocked down.
Yeah, and like I'm just like, damn, he, you know.
The big plot armor for 11 there because
Yeah.
she should have been fucking dead. But of
I
course,
can see it, yeah, but it's fine.
Argyle, it comes. I mean, yeah, when you see a pizza truck kind of rolling in out of nowhere in the middle of the
Yeah.
desert, I mean, it's like, oh.
I mean, I get it. Like the military's just like, don't shoot the civvies, but like,
But then there's the whole thing
Like,
between
blow out the
Paul
tires or
Reiser
something.
and Sullivan. So he's like, don't kill her, and he's just like,
fuck you.
fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
But there's an awesome scene where like after Brenner gets shot like in the chest and he's like on the ground about to die. 11 like stands up to the helicopter like by herself, and I'm just like, epic.
Is she gonna? He's like, what's she gonna? It's like, oh no, she's gonna like literally.
Yeah, she's gonna pull a Magneto and like, you know, and just blow up the helicopter, you know, just fucking murdering everyone. I'm just like, damn. It really expresses how her power and like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they did anything wrong. They're really making her the hero. But like, if you want to make this more complex, you could be like, she has like this, you know, like what they did with Rey in Rise of Skywalker, which is the only time I'm going to praise that movie, where they blow up the cargo with Chewie on it.
Oh yeah.
You know, like she has this immense power that's like, you know, that she can't really control, or well, she can control. So like, if she goes to the dark side, right, she could be evil. But I don't think that's what the Duffer Brothers are saying. No. She's the angel out of between Vecna and her. So
there's another good scene in that where 11, after she gets the helicopter down and everything, and Mike and everybody greet her and all that stuff, she walks over to Papa and he's just like, the guy's like, 11, I need you to forgive me or something like that.
Something like that.
And she's just like, she's not having it. She's like, no.
But at the same time,
she didn't have to say anything. She's just like,
no. She's like, goodbye, Papa.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh. Man, I don't know how to feel about Brenner. I really don't. I think because he protected her when he was like running out, like holding her, although he did terrible things and like pushed her to her limits.
He's still her abuser.
Yes.
So.
Yes. But it's like the writers got across that he truly cares about her.
Yes, they did get that across.
Yeah.
He does, but like in the wrong intentions.
Yeah. He's definitely in the wrong. I'm not saying he's a good.
Oh, I know.
He's a good guy, but it's just a sign of good storytelling where like you don't know how to really feel, because like I felt conflicted when he was dying, and like I wanted 11 to be like, not say like forgive him, but like be like not like halfway grateful for like pushing her.
I think she said all she needed to say, goodbye. She's like, no, fuck.
That's
you.
probably the best way to.
No, yeah, just like, no, fuck off and die. So that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now the California crew finds this pizza shop. They need to get back to Hawkins as soon as they can.
Yeah, because they know that the Hawkins
crew.
Hawkins crew is gonna be going up against Vecna, and then they're like 11 needs to help.
because 11 kind of like psychically went there or whatever. She found
now
out.
she got her powers back, and like, you know, so I just love this ending montage of
with separate ways.
With separate ways.
Dude.
I'm just like this. It's like they're going off to war, and it's just so freaking. They're in the van. It's all the close-ups on everybody, and they're just like, "Here we stand." And I'm just like, "Shit, man, this is so good."
Yeah, and then it crescendos. It's like, oh,
and then it's just like they go into the Creel house, and like that's the end of the episode. I'm just like, shit.
Before that, though, like there's that moment with Max and Lucas in the back of the Winnebago, and he's just like, movie this weekend, like writing down.
Oh
things.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, that's cute. And then talking about the memory. Oh no, maybe
no. I think that's the next episode.
Yes, but
they were talking about like
memories.
Max's plan.
Yeah,
like she's gonna hide in a good memory, and she's like, Lucy's like, "Am I there?
Am I there?"
Yeah.
It's like, oh. And she's like, maybe.
Like, I don't know.
Oh,
but yeah,
that was
like
so good. Like,
yeah,
they obviously still care for each other and everything. So
yeah, and like their relationship, based on what happens in these two episodes, is vying for like the like my favorite like relationship in the show. Mm-hmm. It used to be probably don't really know. And probably Mike and 11 because that was the forefront of season 1. That's what I remember. But yeah. But anyway, this is vying for like the top spot now.
Yeah. All right, moving on to episode 9, the piggyback,
the big finale.
Yeah.
And boy, was it a finale,
dude.
It's so right off the bat, episode is longer than some movies, and like this is an episode in just a TV series.
Yeah, like 2 hours 20 minutes, something like that. It was
it's
crazy.
Fucking crazy. Like it's longer. It's gonna be longer. It's longer than what Thor's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I just can't believe like Netflix like sanctioned this. It's just like,
it's like
what?
Yeah, fuck it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so like it really shows you that TV I think is more, it definitely has a lot of merit that people are overlooking when it comes to like you know the medium of film and stuff. People always see movies as like the number one, but I think TV shows have like a lot to offer that people just aren't seeing. You know, like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones when it was good. You know,
Yeah.
It's great storytelling.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about TV because you can explore so much more than you can in a movie.
Yeah, I care so much more about these characters than I would watching just a independent film right now. If it's like hour 45, you know,
Yeah.
I care way more knowing where these characters have started and where they've come, where have they grown and stuff. And you can really do that more in a TV show, obviously, than a movie. You know, movie series that's different. But like, just look at what the MCU has done. I care so much about Iron Man and Captain America, but you know, you can just do that on a larger scale with TV shows automatically. You know, so
Yeah, with like one season or anything, and
Yeah.
that's what I think that's what Disney Plus is trying to do, honestly, and it's working for some characters.
some, not all.
All right.
Hopper
Anyway.
and Joyce finally get together.
Yeah, we talked about this already. I didn't realize it was episode 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, they fucking.
Yeah.
They're about to get dirty in the peanut butter warehouse.
Yeah, the peanut butter church or whatever.
I don't know if that's where they actually were, but I think that's where they were.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised they showed like a shot of like a revealing shot of Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's surprising.
Eh.
But that wasn't the main point of the scene. It was actually more like showing off Hopper's body.
Yeah, because he's totally just.
Yeah, he's
Destroyed.
whipped and like he
And he's,
lost
like,
so much weight.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that he actually did that probably.
Boy's
'cause-
starving himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I did watch one TikTok where they said, because they kiss, and then the girl's like, you know, like Hopper's mouth has got to be just the most disgusting thing ever, because he hasn't seen a toothbrush in like a year. So like,
Yeah. And he's eating maggots, you say?
yeah, he's like, I'm on a
He's
meal of maggots, and,
oh.
and Joyce is like, sexy. So I'm like,
maggots out of
what?
his mouth. It's like, what? What are you doing there?
Another cool thing is, so now we're back at the Hawkins team. I like how Nancy's kind of like just like her brother when it comes to like leading the groups, because so
Yeah.
now she's the leader of Hawkins, and you know she's like, we need to get guns, we need to go fight this
Go to
fucking
the war
guy.
store, yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the fucking gun store, and then fucking run into crazy jock Jason.
Fucking Jason. Man.
Yeah,
Fucking Jason.
he's
The real villain of this fucking story.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah. So, but we'll get to him.
Yeah, we'll get to him. Yeah, so
Oh, I forgot it. It's so fucking cool. They're riding out to go kill Vecna. Like they're splitting up into teams, right? And they're going to the upside down again. And then Eddie's just like, make him pay. And I'm like, oh, you're gonna die, but that was a cool line.
oh shit. Yeah. And then there's another good moment between Steve and Nancy in there too, where like Steve being like he's always been crawling or whatever and something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and Nancy, you've always been there. You've always been there with the Winnebago scene, like bringing it back to that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yo, I like that whole conversation that they're having, because it's like you don't really see, like, okay, we can all admit Steve was a dick in season 1,
Absolutely.
right? And then he had an unspoken kind of arc where he became the hero that we all know him to be, but he's never like reflected that to Nancy. So now he's like, he has the chance to be like, thank you for like putting me in my place for that one time.
Yeah.
And now he's like come full circle.
maybe if someone hit me on my head earlier, it would have
Yeah.
been different. I was like, oh, Steve.
Yeah, so he really wants to get in with Nancy.
He
but-
really wants back. Yeah.
And now that like, so I didn't think about it before this podcast, but while I was saying the 3 options that she has, I really think she's going to choose no one, and for valid reasons, because they both like they've already like I don't know. Well, I think Steve might die in season 5. I'll get to that later, but he's been on like death's door for like
he's been on
fucking 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Jonathan, I think they're gonna go their separate ways.
I think one of them's gonna die.
Yeah,
one of Jonathan or Nancy. I think Nancy might just fucking die.
She's definitely she's the big bad hero of it, so she could be a martyr for the cause. I can see that happening.
Yeah, she's the one to make the sacrificing play.
Yeah.
So is Steve though.
Yeah. Well, he already did in season 2.
You do it again.
Yeah.
He'll fucking do it again.
He pulling Eddie. I spoiled it. But if you're watching this, you've seen it. So
yeah, exactly. Spoiler alert. Anyway, so they do. Oh god, there's a weird scene where it's actually a nice scene with Mike and Elle before the pineapple on pizza gets brought out.
You're a pineapple on pizza hater.
I am.
Interesting.
I am.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. Like, it's not my go-to topping, but I don't hate it.
Maybe I just had a bad pizza. I mean, I've only had it once. And
okay.
It was a while ago.
We gotta have it with bacon too. That's good.
Salty and sweet.
Yeah.
But the cheese is already salty enough, though.
To each his own, man. It's like the ongoing debate.
I'm just saying, man.
Like, okay. To each his own. I
Oh yeah, you don't want to get in on this fight. Anyway,
we'll save it for duel of debates. Pineapple on pizza, good or bad? And then
we're gonna do that. Okay.
And then Miguel was just like, "Listen, man, I have no opinion."
That's you right now.
Yeah. No, but like I'm for it. I'm for pineapple on pizza.
Anyway, off the pineapple on pizza talk. Yeah. So back there, they're trying to get all this salt from the pizza place that they randomly found because they had a random chain out in Nevada or something like that, or wherever the hell they are.
Right. Yeah, I don't know where they are. They're
somewhere out west, but not California. So they're Surfer Boy Pizza. So yeah, they get all the salt and they make Elle float and all that stuff, and she can go in her mind thing. Her plan is to go into Max's mind
and
when Vecna is there and piggyback and try to fight Vecna in Max's mind, which is crazy when you think about it. But she did do it before.
Yeah.
She did it before, and it's a good callback.
Well, that's how she fought the Mind Flayer in Billy's mind.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I saw the season.
And that's how she saw all those dreams and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his mom and all that stuff.
Yeah. So something's going on with the Mayfields. They're really fucked up as just people.
Yeah.
They have some bad memories.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I like this little detail about Argyle. Like, while he's talking to the guy at the register, he's just like, hey, we're not here for your tasty pies, man. We're here for, but his eyes are like really bloodshot and red. I'm just like, that's nice.
But you see this super girl behind me.
Yeah. You see the super weird girl behind me. She's like, we need like, or she said, we need to use one of your freezers. And then
Jonathan just pulls out the doobie from his pocket.
He's like, you want this? Yeah.
It's great. It's fucking fantastic.
Well, so they're not afraid. So this is like the darkest that the show has gotten, but they're not afraid to make some jokes.
Yeah, they gotta.
But it's
somewhere.
Again, it's not in and we just posted a video about this, the balloon theory. It's not in a way that shortens the tone. It doesn't deflate the tone that they're the tension that they're doing.
It's just a quick little break.
Yeah, it's
from
just
all the tension and everything.
Yeah, because the whole scene itself is a relatively lighthearted scene.
Yes.
And then we go back to Hawkins, where so it's split up better.
Well, let's not get there just yet, because Will and Jonathan talked before this too.
Oh, I love
That's
this
what
scene.
you wanted to talk about. So.
I love this scene. They're saying it without saying it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just such a good scene, because we honestly we've only seen one scene of them being brothers, and it wasn't even when they were together. It's Jonathan listening to Should I Stay or Should I Go?
Yeah.
Is that by The Clash?
I don't know.
Something like that. But that song is what linked them in season 1, and then Jonathan's like, oh, I miss my brother. Where is he? Blah, blah, blah. And then, so we get that flashback scene of them. But now we actually see them together being like, you can talk to me. We don't talk that much anymore.
It's probably my fault and everything. It's like,
yeah. But
no, it's not your fault. No, it's not your fault, basically.
Yeah, it's like the Good Will Hunting scene where it's like, it's not your fault.
And then,
it's like, Psh, I know.
Such a good scene.
Yeah, and then like Noah Schnapp eats it up again.
Dude, the little stuff Noah Schnapp has had in this season has been fire.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's I really can't say anything other than that. It's just great. He's awesome, and they give him so much to do, like as an actor, and like good on them, man. But it's so cool seeing that, like, because the show does like these characters. All these characters are super well written, so fleshed out, so many dimensions to them, alternate dimensions. But you just don't see it anymore, man. It's just like it's the Goonies times 11, you know?
Honestly, it's kind of a. Let's talk about the vibe those pizzas glasses had. They're just a fucking vibe.
Yeah, man.
Dude, they're great. She's just like wearing them and just hanging out in the sink.
And then we get another scene with Mike and Elle where he almost says it to her. He almost says, "I love you."
He almost says it.
And this has been teased for like two seasons at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like and it's been like 3-4 years almost.
Yeah.
So we'll get to it in this episode. He finally says it, but you know,
and at the right time. But let's get to the real part of where we wanted this. The guitar scene from the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to that right now because everything's set in motion right now. Like, Max is in Vecna's mind. Max is, she's getting fucked basically by Vecna.
By the way, side note, I figured out what that thing where remember the last episode we were like, or the last podcast for this, we were talking about like, what's that? Is that the Upside Down where like Vecna's like place where he kills his people? Where's that? It's called a mind layer, apparently. So it's in Vecna's mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so it's kind of like how Elle's mind is black.
Yeah.
Like Vecna's mind is filled with all that, the Creel House and the red smoke and stuff. I think that's what they're trying to get across.
It would make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so while all this is going on, they need a distraction to get the demo bats away from the Upside Down Creel House. So Eddie starts rocking out.
Yep.
Fucking Master of Puppets, man.
I called this.
Did.
I saw one TikTok and I'm like, makes sense, and I stuck with it. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I did because I was right. I feel so vindicated right now.
See, I didn't know it was going to be a distraction technique. I thought he was actually going to be saving Nancy at the beginning of episode 8 because she was still in the trance and everything. I was like, okay, that would make sense. They're at the trailer. He could easily get on top of the trailer and start playing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I thought it was going to be a Bon Jovi song.
Which song, though?
I don't know. Just one.
Oh,
it would just make sense because, like, Nancy, Bon Jovi, 86, Slippery When Wet. That's what I thought.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking. So
yeah, I knew it was. I thought it was going to be metal because I mean, one, he's playing like a solo, like a really hardcore solo.
See, I didn't really look in that deep into it. So
okay,
yeah.
And they tease it in episode 8 where he's like, "This is music," right? Where he's just like Robin's like looking for like any music possible. He's like, "No, this is music."
I wonder
guys.
what that thing he's holding is. I wonder if it is Metallica.
It probably is. I think pretty sure.
Just didn't look.
Well, because he needs the backing track, right? Mm-hmm. So and like. Yeah, so this is me nitpicking.
Yeah.
Where does he get the electricity for the amp and stuff?
I guess plot, bro.
I know. It's fine. I gotta this show is so good that I have to like nitpick to like give it some criticisms.
Or maybe they took a wire, like a really long wire from
they plugged it and Justin like jumped with it into the ceiling. Yeah.
I mean,
that's probably it.
That could work. We didn't see it, but like that theoretically could work.
But dude, like I wrote in my notes, this show knows exactly what it's doing. This is like the cheesiest the show gets, I think, where it's like Max is running through like the haunted house of Vecna. And like it's playing Master Puppets, and like everyone, and like Lucas is fighting Jason, I think at that time or something like that.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
But like, yeah,
no, not yet.
Who's calling? Someone's fighting somebody else. Where I wasn't.
I think at that point, Jason.
Oh no, the jocks are like getting Erica.
Yeah, they're going after Erica, and. Yeah, it's just like a whole, basically, like, it's a montage. So,
it's just, it's so good. It's like, and it's exactly what I want, and I didn't even know I wanted it.
It's a very good scene.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. And then we get kind of serious when like Jason comes up to the attic where Lucas and Max are.
Yeah, and my note is, yes, crazy white boy Jason, because he pulls out a fucking gun on Lucas.
Okay, so I knew this. I knew you were gonna say this, but like, in Jason's defense, like she's in a trance,
No defense.
with candles all around.
No defense.
It looks like a satanic ritual
It
to
does,
me.
but Jason's also fucking crazy.
Well, Jason is crazy. I know. But like,
I know.
can you blame like his bias confirmed, right?
Yes, but like he saw his friend die in front of him like that, but like Lucas
Yeah.
was like nowhere near him. Like,
yeah, I know. So he's like
He's
making
like-
the leap to the wrong person.
Yes.
But like Max is literally like in a trance like that, and then she's gonna start floating like a couple minutes later. So there's no like there's an explanation there. Like there's a reasonable like thing there, I think,
Yeah.
for Jason. Not defending him because he's fucking crazy.
I know.
Tries to shoot Lucas. He's like, you're gonna wake her up now.
All right.
You know.
Yeah, and this is when they cut back to Russia. So
And then all that, and this is like the only thing I think wrong with that I don't like. I think we should have gone to some other place other than Russia. Stayed with the Hawkins group. Go to somebody else in Hawkins because we end on the tension with Lucas about to be shot, right? And I'm like, and then it's gone. But
cuts to Russia, and their plan is to get all these demodogs and everything because it's a hive mind that's got going on. So all of them will go into the cage if one of them goes.
Yeah.
So that's the plan they got, and Hopper distracts them, gets going, gets attacked. Joyce is like, uh-oh, and just I was like, oh god, Joyce is gonna fucking die, isn't she? But
Yeah. I knew she was safe because
she stabs him with the cattle prod.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the cage. They're in the cage, and fucking Murray coming out with a goddamn flamethrower, dude. That was so sick.
he's like, hey, sons of bitches, and he starts lighting
so
them up.
good,
like Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And
It's all awesome.
yep, Lucas and Jason are just like kind of like actually like something's gonna happen. Like the gun is still on Lucas, and Lucas just he's like fuck it.
He's
And
like,
just
fuck it.
goes
He's just like,
at
I gotta save Max, right?
And he starts just like wailing on Jason. Then Jason wails on him a lot.
Yeah. And like, I mean, Lucas is a small dude, compared to Jason. So I don't
Big
buy
head.
him. I don't really buy him like getting too much of an upper hand,
No, but
it works. It's
take
fine.
it. But meanwhile, Elle, we did cut back to Elle a few times, and Max's happy memory with Vecna is
It's the snowball.
Snowball.
Yeah.
When she was.
Why does she start off at the skate park though? That's what I don't. Get. She's like,
I
it's a
think that's
memory
just
within a
different
memory.
stuck. Yeah, I think it's just like a.
It was like mixed in the paths or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was really weird. I don't know why it did
Yeah,
that.
I
but-
felt like there's kind of like a filler thing a little bit. Not that
Yeah.
they need filler in this.
Yeah. So basically, we get this whole scene with Elle, Max, and Vecna. So Vecna comes in on Max, and fucking Elle out of nowhere just like raises him up, and he's just like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
not today. She puts him into the bleachers.
Yeah, shows him what's up.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Get it?
I get it.
Yeah, it was great.
Like Eleven to the rescue. Lucas Lucas has has a moment right before he charges at Jason. Or he's just like, I thought I wanted to be like you. I thought I wanted to be you, but you're just a sad, pathetic. I wanted to be normal, but you just suck.
Yeah.
It was like pay off for Lucas's arc. I'm like,
Yep.
secured, right?
But also, oh no.
Yeah. So usually when you complete an arc, you're gonna die.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But no, they thankfully no. But yeah, so now we're in Vecna's mind, as you said.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed though, and I may be completely wrong about this, it looks like Vecna's hand. Like, does Vecna has
Two
like
different size hands, yes.
Okay, because I thought his hand went from like really gross, and then he was like feeding off of Elle's energy, and like it
his
became
left hand
human
is bigger
again.
than his right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense then. Anyway, that's wrong with my note.
Okay, but yeah, there's this whole scene where
He gets another
Vecna-
exposition scene again.
Vecna created the Upside Down and everything.
Yes, and
So cool.
so I have a theory.
Okay.
And I can't take credit for this one, even though I really wish I could.
Okay.
I got this from TikTok, and
Of course you
I
did.
really would. I'll put in like the lower third who the creator's name is because she is great in explaining this. The reason why the Upside Down is stuck on the day Will was taken was because so Elle pushed Vecna into the Upside Down before it was
The Upside Down.
So there's only mountains or like there's nothing like about Hawkins.
Yeah,
in
just
there.
the Demogorgons kind of just going about their
Yeah, it's a big landscape of just nothing, right? And then the explanation, I guess, is that Vecna kidnaps Will the first time. So he or like 11 opens up the gate, right, with the Demogorgon. So season 1 starts, and then Vecna's able to take Will and into the Upside Down, and then his mind populates the Upside Down with Hawkins and the details and stuff.
But how?
Because he goes into his mind or something. Because I think he tried to kill him in season 1, and then something happened in season 1 where like she was able to save him, and something about that. I only watched it like twice, the TikTok, so I'm not entirely sure. But that makes a lot of sense though. That like he's the first to cross over into the Upside Down. You know,
I get that, but
and then his mind populates the Upside Down with what Hawkins.
How does it populate it? That's what I don't.
Because he goes into his mind, and then Vecna like creates it into the Upside. I don't. It's there somewhat, right? I can see it.
You're on the right track, I think. I just don't. Sorry, this person is on the right track.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She probably explains it way better than I am. So, but I will definitely
know how I feel about that.
link the video or show you how to get to her profile or something like that. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad idea. But yeah, it's really cool how the exposition is in that scene, and how like all the villains, like the Mind Flayer, the Demogorgons, are all there. But then Vecna's like, I can do something with this.
Yeah, and like it gave me like, and you're not gonna get this at all, but you know that show Fringe?
I do actually.
Oh, you do. So it reminded me of like Leonard Nimoy's. I forgot his name in that. The big doctor guy that was rivals with Walter.
I don't remember that much of it.
Oh, you don't?
I know the show.
He became the villain because he wanted to create a new dimension where it wasn't bogged down by human life.
Oh.
And like he wanted to create like the ultimate, like it's kind of like an alien type thing where like he wanted the ultimate creature, but like just a pure society of creatures and stuff.
Society.
Yeah. It gave me that kind of vibe where like Vecna wants to create this new realm of like that's pure and without humans, right? God. So I'm getting vibes for that.
Okay, no, I get the vibes there. I get that.
But anyway, he gave this whole exposition, and then they show flashbacks, and fans have found similarities in season 3 to like how Vecna's standing in season 4 is similar to how Billy was standing in season 3 when when he's like Elle shows up to the his girlfriend's house or whatever. And so it just makes me wonder if the Duffer Brothers had this entire story in the back of their mind. Well, they didn't have the entire
story, but they had most of it.
So they're geniuses. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly,
they can see this so far ahead, and like if that monster's silhouette in season 1 that Will sees real quick turn around, if that's Vecna, they're fucking geniuses, man. It's awesome.
They could also be. I saw something where they are editing past seasons of Stranger Things little by little. I think they're adding stuff in, which would be really cool.
That's an interesting experiment.
I think they are doing that.
As long as they, I don't want them to change to be that the only version. I'd like to see kind of like the before and after. So if they have like OG Stranger Things and then like the special editions of Stranger Things, right, along with it.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
They're not gonna.
I think they're just gonna edit little parts of it. And
they're gonna make it more seamless. Mm-hmm. But I still have the season 1 Blu-rays of Stranger Things when it first came out.
Thing. I didn't even know they had Blu-rays.
They had a really cool. It was like a VHS style looking case. Ooh. So it looked like a VHS tape, but you open it up, it's Blu-rays. That's cool. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. But yeah, they made that for season 1 and 2. And I have the season 1 version of it. So, if they change anything, I'll go back and compare and stuff. So that's cool.
But yeah, so now, okay, so back to the mind of Vecna, where he has Max up against the wall, and he's just like, after he's explained all the upside down stuff, he's like, now I just want you. I want you to be by my side at one point, and now he's like, now I just want you to watch.
Yeah. Like, now you're gonna watch me kill your friend,
everyone, and
like they let Max go like really far into the whole ritual thing, which I thought was
that in just a second.
Really awesome.
We'll get to that in just a second. Because at this point, Elle is like freaking out in the real world, and Mike has to come in.
Oh yeah, Mike has to like
come in clutch, and he's just like, "I love you, I love you."
Yeah, I love you, Elle. She
Finally
finally says it.
And then we need you to fight, and then like that really like, and then
Yeah.
everything cuts to black for a second, and I was like, "Is that where this ends?" No, don't do this to me.
Yeah, and then we get like
the Vecna going like across the wall, like the wall or
across
whatever.
the
and then
And so
other
she,
things
like,
are happening at that time too.
completely schools him again with her powers, and then they have like a mind fight back and forth.
The mind fight. We also at that same time we see the Demogorgon fight with Hopper.
Yeah.
the
Is this-
real one that
is
we
this-
wanted to see.
Is this the part where he grabs the great sword and he's like chops off his head? I'm like, that's so fucking cool.
That's the Demogorgon fight we wanted.
yeah, that's the one we wanted. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was.
They
so
know
cool.
what we want.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so cool. And then also, while playing this at this time, I believe is running up that hill
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
mixed with the Stranger Things theme. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
that was so cool. They just did
They
such
know
a-
exactly what to do. It's so awesome.
and they had even longer to prepare this season because of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
they made it. Just
This is what you. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
like some people just didn't utilize that time to
And they
make
did.
their products better, and I'm so glad that these guys did because they
'cause what
they
a,
fucking nailed it, dude.
and what a climax that was too. Because as you said, Max, they let Max go pretty far into this.
Yeah,
And
when I
Lucas
saw her legs break and her
in the
arms, I'm
slow
just
motion
like,
too, I was like, oh,
I'm just like, oh, like is she dead?
and Luke's like, no.
I'm just like, there's still time to save her. And then after the climax is over, I'm not sure if you have anything to say. I really want to go into like the Lucas and Max thing.
Okay, we'll go into that.
Okay,
in just
I'll
a second.
save it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just like going through the whole process
Okay,
of this
okay.
climax.
Ding.
Because at the same time, we haven't talked about Eddie in a while either. And
Oh, I forgot about
I
Eddie.
know,
Oh my
we haven't
god.
talked about Eddie, so I was gonna go back to that. So before this, like him and Dustin are just like, after they get to the guitar scene, they get in the trailer. It's all boarding up and everything except for Vince, whatever. Eddie sends Dustin back up to the real world.
Cuts it.
Cuts it.
Cuts the,
and
cuts the line.
he goes off and distracts the bats, gets on a bike and just starts riding.
Yep.
And Dustin's like, no, no.
Yeah, and then like
And falls, through.
He's like, fuck it. He crawls up and then he falls down.
And it hurts his knee.
Yeah.
But yeah, then at that point, Eddie, while this montage is going on, Eddie crashes and everything. And he's about to run away. He's like, no, not today.
Yeah, well, like because they
he's been running
say
the whole season.
Yeah, he's been running the whole season, and he even says right before they say right before they head out and split up, he's like make him pay. He's like, we're not really the hero type.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna
Maybe
be
I
a
am
hero.
the hero type.
I'm just like,
And then
it breaks my heart.
He got pretty far with him. He was like fighting him off for a while. Like,
Yeah.
he did a good job.
Yeah, and then ultimately, he gets eaten
alive, basically.
Yeah.
And Dustin, eventually they went away. How did they go away again? They just kind of.
Oh, because Elle started fighting Vecna. It's a hive mind.
And Vecna, kind of got fucked up. So they all dropped dead. So does Eddie.
And then we get the
It's like, I didn't run away. It's
and then the one that got me where he's just like, I think I might graduate. I think it's finally my year. I'm just like, Eddie, no. Why do you do this to me,
this
show?
is the scene that you were telling us in the group chat. This is the scene that almost got you.
It almost
really
got
hard.
me. It really almost got me. It was, dude, I didn't know I loved Eddie that much, talk about a perception change, because if you guys can go back and watch my reaction to the part 1 trailer, and I'm not so sure about this fucking guy, I thought he was going to be the Doof Warrior playing the guitar solo. I'm just like, that's so fucking cheesy. Boy, did they fucking deliver and change my mind on that whole entire thing.
Joseph Quinn is quite the actor, man.
He's so good, man.
So good. And then the scene right after that. We thought we'd have a break.
Yeah.
No. It's
fuck no.
Max is getting her arms broken, her legs broken, and then you get that close up of her face too as her eyes are
Yeah, and it starts like
she's bleeding. It's
bleeding out her eyes and stuff.
And then Lucas gets Jason out of the way or whatever. And
yeah, I think he just knocks him out or something like that, right?
And it's like, oh my god. And then she ends up in Elle ends up
saves her
basically. But at the same time,
the damage is done.
Now
man.
the damage is done. She's still in this her trance or whatever, and she's sitting with Lucas and Max. As Max is like, I don't want to die yet. I'm just like,
yeah, and she's like, I can't see, my legs are broken. I'm just like, oh my fucking god, dude. These actors. This is like that's the time for Luke or Caleb McLaughlin and Sadie Sink to really shine, and they nailed it again, man. Oh man, dude, like. Again, I didn't think I cared about Max that much. The show does something to me.
Dude, this season made me care a lot about Max. Holy fuck.
With her whole introspection with Billy and like her guilt and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like we didn't mention it before she goes into the trance. Yeah. She's like, maybe I did want Billy to die. You know, I'm just like, that's just an extra dimension to her character.
Well, I think that was also he did have a hold of her at that point because I think he was portraying Lucas at that point. So like he did have a hold of her. And
she's saying it though. Yes, so she's either baiting him or it's kind of true. I think it's kind of true. Where she's like, yeah, he treated me like shit. He was I was like living with him was a living hell, and you know it just adds more dimension to her. And it's like same thing with the Dr. Brenner thing, where I'm just like, it's like you don't know how to feel about these guys, these characters, you know, and just oh man, it's so good. I can't tell you how much I love this show right now. Yeah, it's so good, honestly.
But then so Max dies, and we're just like. That's the fourth gate. We hear the 4 chimes, and we're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And then I'm like, that's like the big cataclysmic event.
Everything starts opening, the earthquake. And Jason gets sawed in half. Cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's fine. Good on you. Good on the show. Yeah. We hated him.
And then Ella's like, she has her hand on Max and stuff like that. Like she's like,
it's like you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. So she resurrects her.
We don't know
with memories.
We don't know that. I don't know what that whole scene was, but I want to talk about that in a little bit.
Actually, now I just had a thought. We don't see Max come back in this season, right? She's not awake for the rest of the season. So she could be like infected by Vecna or something. That's where he's hiding.
Remember how Vecna's victims stay with him. So like Chrissy and all.
Oh, so she's stuck in the mind layer.
Stuck with him, yeah.
Oh, and that's limbo and stuff.
Like they could all still, may not all be alive because they're actually dead, but like she wasn't.
She didn't.
She's not dead. So it's
it's hard to explain. He didn't really take her soul, but because she's still alive, right?
Yeah, so maybe he's like, holding her captive or something, and he can't really do anything now because he's so weak.
Right, but
we didn't talk about that either. I want to talk about that for a second. When Vecna getting his ass kicked by fucking.
Oh right, in the Upside Down, yeah. Steve. So much happens in so little time.
Yeah, like we're great, so jumbled right now. But so
they throw 2 Molotovs at him, and he starts.
And Nancy goes to fucking town with the shotgun, and goes out the window.
Yeah,
and it's very similar to fucking Halloween.
Yeah,
very similar to Halloween.
So I thought, I read like an article where I was like, "Oh, there's a Halloween reference," and I thought it was just the mask. Mm-hmm. But nope. Yeah, you brought that up. I didn't catch that.
Yes, and I cannot take credit for that either because I found it on Twitter. But, it was very cool to see that, and then when they all go downstairs, he's gone. Just like Michael Myers, he's gone.
So, but where did he go? That's where we want to. We'll find out in season 5. But
find out in season 5 where that goes. But now we're in the epilogue of this season.
Yeah, which is like Lord of the Rings style, where it takes like a half hour. But
yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff happening here.
Then we get Robin. Finally ends up talking with Vicky and everything, making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, and I like how they're like, what can we do to help? Like, this is sort of our fault.
And Vicky's very much like Robin from the beginning of the season, like, doesn't know when to stop talking. Gets nervous.
Yeah, I like that symmetry.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Another thing, great writing. So.
Yep. Setup, payoff, yep.
Dustin with Eddie's uncle. That scene was so good.
Oh, man, dude.
He's like, he's a hero.
He's putting up the signs, and he's like, he gives him his necklace, and just like, oh,
he's a hero.
Eddie, no.
And then his uncle would try anything to get him back too. Like he cared about him. Like he really did.
This isn't like a big thing, but I'm glad that the uncle's not a piece of shit.
No, he wanted to help him. Like he knew he ran away at the very beginning of the season, but he wanted to help him too.
Yeah,
he ran away, so he couldn't. So it's just
I just feel like
so depressing, man.
I just feel like you don't see like good male role models anymore,
Obviously not Mike's dad.
Yeah, Mike's dad's a piece of shit, right?
He's just in his chair all
You know?
day.
And like, you got Hopper. He's good, you know.
Yeah, Hopper's good.
But like, you know, like even like where the MCU is all about like daddy issues, right? You don't see too many good fathers there, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see a good father figure.
I mean, Multiverse of Badness gave me mommy issues.
yeah.
Anyway, let's see.
Makes sense that everyone wants to leave Hawkins because it's literally the apocalypse right now. There's like a gaping hole into the center of the earth, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Centering on the Creel house, right? That's where it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we also go back. Also in the epilogue, we get all of them reunited and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. We get Jonathan and Nancy reunited at one point, and they're still, Nancy's like, or Jonathan's like, are we okay? She's like,
yeah, I'm just like, because he can definitely
Yikes.
sense that something's up, and you know, because in the beginning of the season he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing, you know.
And she asked him about the college thing, and he deflected that. Too.
Yeah, he's like,
He
oh,
didn't come.
Yeah, but I like right when they actually meet up, you see Robin kind of comfort Steve, like, it's okay, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, and then we get the moment everybody's been waiting for. Hopper comes back. Comes back. They're all in the cabin. Ella's in her room. And
Yeah, another one that almost got me.
That one was very well done.
Yeah.
Like, it was worth it, but like, I still don't think they should have shown him being alive at the end of season 3. Like that one scene they had.
Yeah, it was just the promo, yeah.
I don't think they should have done that.
And okay, so that's something I want to criticize. It's not the show's fault. It's Netflix's fault. And I listened to another podcast where they brought this up, and they said something where like it's Netflix's strategy for this is not good because they're spoiling everything in the show, and they're giving plot points away before it's needed, you know. And they're saying that's because Netflix's stock is plummeted because they're greenlighting all these shitty shows, putting all this money into the shows that aren't going to get any traction, and then canceling the ones that do get traction after like season 2. So, like, that seems like a ass backwards strategy. And like Netflix isn't doing too good, so they had to lay off like a bunch of employees and stuff. So now they're really banking on Stranger Things, right?
Yeah, but But what other shows did they kind of do that with, like the promo thing? Like, what other shows can you think of that kind of did that? Like, revealed too much about the plot or something?
I don't know.
think Ozark didn't do that.
No, Ozark didn't do that. I just know that shows that they canceled. I think it's just specifically with Stranger Things because apparently I didn't see the volume 2 like trailer. There's like 2 trailers there. I'm just like I'm gonna watch it anyway. I don't need to see it. They gave away like the Demogorgons in the lab in the first episode or episode 8.
Okay.
They gave away. What else? They gave away a lot of stuff in episode 8.
That's what modern trailers do, though. They give away too much.
Yeah, and that's just the culture behind trailers. They should really just
leave the third act out of everything.
Yeah, I'm almost kind of happy about if they do it tastefully. There's a certain way that you
like
can
the
do.
Eddie guitar solo. Like that was in the very last episode. We didn't know that.
Yeah,
and
it would have been.
It was made it very quick. And I was like, oh, what's that?
I'm fine with like what Infinity War did, where they showed. Maybe I'm not okay with it. I don't know.
Well, Marvel also does things to throw you off.
They put in things that
or take away things.
Yeah, I think maybe like altering it a little bit with CGI is okay because then that still leaves little secrets.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's good because it's like, well, we still get like the point of the scene is that there's a big battle.
Yeah,
and it makes you it draws your attention to it.
Or the big trailer shot in Infinity War when they're all running at the camera in the forest. Like that wasn't there either.
People were upset about that because the Hulk's in it and he's not in the movie. Yes. So that's an example of adding something. But I think the good one where they did was they took Thor. You know how Thor gets his in Ragnarok, he gets his eye cut out. They just had a regular eye in that. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep. Anyway, that's our little spiel on that.
Oh, I forgot where we were.
Back to this. So the very end. So everybody's reunited.
Yeah, Hopper and Elle. Yeah, that one. I don't know how David Harbour didn't cry during that scene. I'm just like, you know.
Yeah, because
so good.
Elle was a mess.
Yeah, she's like, I'm so glad you're back.
The door 3 inches, open 3 inches.
I left it open 3 inches. Like,
oh my god! She, like they called that back. It's the very first time we see her. The door's open 3 inches in season 4. So just everything called back, man.
My My heart is just
And then
breaking.
Will gets the tingle in the back of his neck.
Yep.
And it's like, oh,
And I like
here we go.
They added in the goosebumps too. I like that.
Yep.
That little CGI bit. Because like we like in the 2 and 3, he's just like, oh no, But now they actually have like the goosebumps there.
It's like here we go. I think it's gonna be a Will-centric season 5.
That would be cool. Bring it back to its roots.
Will's going bad.
Will gone
I
bad.
think Will's going bad.
Okay. I think
I
it's
don't know
either
how,
the candidates are definitely either Will or Max, because they're the ones that have had
Wow.
direct encounters with Vecna, other than Elle and Nancy. But
before we get to what we think happening in season 5, I mean, let's just. Do you want to give our ratings for this season since we're already done now? Like the full rating for the season, or do we want to go to where we think we're going first?
I'll give a rating.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, are you doing part 2 and then the whole show, or just
Whole show.
Whole
Just
show.
The whole show.
the whole season, right? Okay. The whole season. Again, like I got to bring up the point that there's a few nitpicks here and there, logical inconsistencies, but they by no means ruin anything, which I'm very happy about. And just the pure amount of characters, pure amount of storylines that we're dealing with. There's a lot of time that's left, like up in the air. Like for example, like when Steve's crew in the Creel house in the Upside Down are walking up the stairs, they get caught by the tentacles. Then like a half hour later, they're still choking by like the tentacles on the wall. So that whole principle, and that's not really exactly the show's fault. There might be something you can do in editing, mix them around a little bit.
As I said, they're going back and adding little parts of the show.
Yeah.
Maybe updating graphics and stuff, but maybe they're adding little things we just don't necessarily notice yet.
Yeah, that's really my only criticism of this show. I really can't think of anything negative to say. The characters are phenomenal. The writing's phenomenal. The acting's phenomenal. Direction is phenomenal. Oh man, dude, I think overall the whole entire season, given the context of these 2 episodes, bumps this up to like a 95. I forgot what I gave for part 1, but it's a 95 for the whole season. So
I don't know if we rated part 1, did we?
I don't know. We might not have.
Anyway.
But
I do agree with the inconsistencies. I did not like the Russia storyline. I liked Hopper's story overall this season, but I still think he should have come in episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 4 or 5. But 4 was actually pretty big by itself, so I think 5 would have been a good spot for him to come in.
Yeah. That would have been good.
And obviously not revealing he's alive.
Yeah, that's a misstep on Netflix's part.
That is a misstep.
That's not the
on
show's
Netflix.
fault.
But barring that, I would easily say I would probably agree like a 94, 95. It's up there. This is the best season of Stranger Things.
Yeah. It's so good.
Not by far. Season 1 is still very good.
Season 1's a very tight, compact little story. Like I would have been fine. I mean, I would have been fine if it ended there, not knowing what I know comes next. Mm-hmm. But like that was like it was great. It was a perfect gold standard. Yeah. And then now
season 4 is still just as tight.
Season 4,
but like the stakes,
but
the heart is so much more in this season
because you care so much. You watch these other 2 seasons of characters growing and changing, and it was like, oh, it's so fucking good, man.
Yeah, dude, between Max and Eddie and just fuck.
Yeah,
like Max carried this whole fucking season. She really did.
She really did. I think the 2 most talented actors are Millie Bobby Brown, obviously, and Sadie Sink. And then right behind them is
straight breakout is Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn,
my God.
Very good actor. Everyone is really good. Yeah. It's like they're all like every other actor's in like all in third place. They've
all grown up together, and they've done such a great job.
They have such great chemistry. It's
undeniable chemistry.
The Duffer Brothers, I don't want to give them too much credit because obviously too much power in the wrong hand or in one person's hands could lead. But they had, I wrote down they have the potential to be the most successful writers in modern history, and I'm not exaggerating that because this show is almost perfect, really, and like so like. I'd say maybe greenlight them for something bigger.
Well, there's that rumor that they're going to be doing the Ghost Rider movie, the next Ghost Rider movie or a Ghost Rider show, depending on what it is. There was that rumor out there. So
I'm down for it.
That could be interesting if they can actually, redeem Nick Cage Ghost Rider.
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe just give him a cameo. Don't make him Ghost Rider, please. But
yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah,
I know nothing about Ghost Rider, but I do not like those movies.
So I mean, again, just a rumor. Who knows?
I'm down for it. Pretty much anything they could do pretty much anything, and I'd watch it right now. You know,
them and Sean Levy, because Sean Levy is just
Sean
as
Levy's
talented.
great. Yeah,
and he's doing Deadpool 3, so
yeah,
I'm very excited for that. But yes, so damn, dude, 95.
95. That's the 5-star TV show that first 5-star TV show that we've done. I don't think we haven't rated a couple of them, but you know.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, for me, obviously, it goes 4, 1, 3, 2 in seasons, and 2 just because of that one fucking episode. But I do think Callie is coming back in season 5. They have to bring her back. They have to do something.
Callie?
8. That's her name.
Oh.
Yeah, they have to bring her back.
They have to bring her back to have some sort of consistency, right?
Yes, because they can't just one-off her. They can't. Something has to be done to redeem that episode. But at this point, I think it's getting kind of late for that.
It is getting a little late.
So
yeah,
it's now or never for that. I think
they could do like an Avengers type thing where they team up, find her, and because they did. Her gang didn't die, right? They're all still alive.
I don't remember. I skip that episode.
I forget. Time, man. It was such a bad episode.
Yeah, I skip it. So
It's not that it's a bad episode. It just really didn't fit with the show.
Out of place, man.
Yeah, so very out of place. And that's probably the only big stain on the show. There's really nothing too bad. But it's so
yeah. And while we're talking about this, where do we think we go now in season 5?
Okay, so character deaths. I know it's like probably towards the end of season 5, but I really think they've been teasing Steve for way too long at this point. He's got to die and I think they're going to do either part 1 and part 2 for season 5 as well.
If they do the 2-part thing again,
I think he's going to die at the end of part 1.
If they do a part 1,
if they do a split,
yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely going to die in season 5. I think Will or Elle might sacrifice themselves. Max, I'm not so sure. I think everyone else is pretty much safe, though.
Okay, with my deaths, I agree with Steve. Steve is going to die at some point.
Yeah.
I don't want him to. He is my whole heart. But
he's the mom of the group, and we all love it.
He is, and I love him.
We're here for it.
Dustin. I think Dustin's going to die. I think Dustin's going to make a sacrificing play.
Okay.
I could easily see that with, the whole Eddie thing going to be weighing on his mind and stuff. I think something's going to happen to Dustin. And
I can see that.
Yeah. I think Elle lives. I think Mike might die. I think one of them's gonna. I don't know.
I almost think that like everyone in each pair,
anybody could die at this point.
Anybody, and like that's
we care about all of them.
But the thing is,
the
thing is though, this show has proven to have so much plot armor for like all the main characters. They only kill off the new character that's introduced in each season, right?
Yeah.
Plus Billy, but he's but yeah, it's just like I fear for all these characters because they've really shown to like brutalize. They brutalized Max, man. Like dude. I feel for her, and I'm actually genuinely scared for all of them. So, and that's a sign of good writing.
Literally all of them.
Yeah,
maybe not Jonathan. I don't really care for Jonathan.
Jonathan's he
needs to have something going for him.
He had Nancy like
he kind of took a back seat this season.
Well, now I think they're building something with him and Will.
I do think that. And maybe he would make the sacrificing play if he goes up against Will, if Will goes bad, like I think it's going to happen.
I think that might happen, yep. That's good.
That could be, and then, who else? Joyce probably would be in there too. Oh, Joyce.
Joyce sacrificing herself for her kids.
She is the heart of the. She was the heart of the show in the beginning. Like she started it all. Like,
she's because she was like the only parent or the only adult who really understood.
Knew Will was still alive.
Yeah.
So there's something's gonna happen there too.
All right. So they're gonna do a time jump. We've heard.
Yes.
And that might just be out of necessity for the actors.
Yes. The Duffer Brothers have confirmed that.
Yeah. So, how many years you think? It's going to be like 4.
What I think is going to happen, and they're going to do an end game type of thing. So a cold open starting right where they left off in season 4.
Okay.
And something happens. Someone dies. Someone dies early. And then they do a time jump of a few years. 2 or 3. I think 2 or 3. Because they're like, 14 going on 15 now probably? Because freshman year?
Yeah.
Probably about 15. So probably.
Yeah, but everyone's 20. Like 19, 20,
they'll probably
the actors.
they'll probably be like 18.
Okay.
They'll probably make it like that.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something cataclysmic is going to happen, and it's going to make them kind of suffer like Endgame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. What if they actually do an Endgame thing and they somehow find Vecna again and kill him early in the season, and then like he does, like the cataclysmic event is all about them trying to reverse that. I don't know how they would do it.
They're doing time travel, bro. They ain't doing time travel.
No, I'm not saying do time travel. I'm just saying like repair it. Somehow. I don't know. Duffer Brothers are more creative than me.
Yeah. Well.
Do you think the Russian storyline is going to come back?
Yes. I don't think we're done in Russia.
Okay. I'm sick of Russia, to be honest. I'm good. I got my fill.
I don't think
I really got to do some legwork to make that interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how they would bring it back exactly, but they still got the connections with this guy they brought back with them, whoever Hopper's
Antonov.
They got him with them. They got Yuri still.
Oh yeah, we missed there's a little tiny scene where like Antonov's like, "Why are you a coward?" And then we get like a mini kind of exposition conversation with Yuri's feelings about the whole thing. But
yeah, so we still got them. Maybe we got Sullivan too. We don't know what he's planning.
Oh yeah,
the general. I don't know if he's going to end up finding out shit about Russia, and that's where that leads. Maybe.
Ooh, they have like the Cold War like it escalates or whatever.
Chernobyl.
Oh,
did that happen in '86?
I think so. Maybe.
That's the cataclysmic event that starts it off. Because of the earthquake that happened in Hawkins, maybe that
they can blame it on Chernobyl or whatever.
Something happens in Chernobyl at the same time, maybe, and we just don't know.
Interesting. I don't know the exact date, but that would be cool.
It is in '86. Oh, we should look that up.
I'll look that up.
Hold the phone on that for a second. I'm going to look that up. All right. So April 26th, 1986 is when Chernobyl happened. So
it's like a month after season 4.
Maybe we do follow them for a little bit, and then something happens with Chernobyl, and that causes something. I don't know what. Maybe that's what refuels Vecna or something. I don't know. Maybe he causes Chernobyl somehow.
Maybe. I mean, but they haven't really had like events like really shape the show.
I remember hearing a theory about because Chernobyl happens around the same time, and that's how like
that could happen.
This glues together. Something's gonna happen.
It'd be really cool if they were able to do that, because then that's like another box that they can check, with the whole, with the dimensions and stuff adding to it. But my main thing is, how do you think it's gonna end? Do you think like they're gonna win? Do you think the world's gonna be completely changed after this whole entire thing?
They gotta win, right? But they don't win at the same time because they lose so many people.
Right, I think so.
That's probably what's going to end up happening.
Some people on the internet are, worried. I am one of those people.
I am one of those people.
I'm worried that either it's going to end poorly, like Game of Thrones, like just badly written. Which at this rate, I really don't think that's very far fetched for me.
Season 5 to where they need it to be, and I think it's going to be tight, just like season 4.
I really hope it is. And if honestly, if they need to. And they want to take the time to do it, to do it right, I'm okay with waiting 2-3 years, because think about it, there were 3 years in between the Star Wars movies, the original OT, right? And the last episode of season 4 was more than a feature length movie. So just imagine they're probably going to do feature length movies or episodes for 7-8 episodes, right? So I'm fine with waiting that long.
I don't think they're going to be as long as this season. I think they're going to go back to that hour format.
No, they got to go big for the last season,
for the last episode, yes. But I don't think...
I want them to go big. I really want them to go big.
They are going to go big.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like... Okay, so there's the whole theory about when each of these seasons drops. So you know how each season takes place in a different season?
Yeah.
I think, right? Yeah. But I don't know if that's the theory.
They're going to have a nuclear winter kind of thing.
But
I would like to see them in winter.
Have they not done winter yet?
They did a quick glimpse and scene in season 1 right at the end. But
so they do need a season in winter. And I think they're going to start filming this winter as well, because that would make the most sense. It's like 6 months out, and then it releases in winter 2023. I think that's when it's going to release. Because the first season and the third season both released in summer. Mm-hmm. Season 2 released in the fall, and this one released in the spring, technically with May.
Yes.
So that leaves a winter date to release.
That's awesome. I really want them to do that. I forgot. I completely lost my train of thought before. Many people are worried that it's gonna end with like them and like a D&D.
No.
People are worried about that.
Up. No,
they're gonna pull a How I Met
They're
Your
not
Mother
gonna do
with
that.
the ending that they had planned out from the very beginning, and they're gonna go with it.
No.
There's no possible
that
way.
will ruin the whole show.
It will ruin the whole show. So I Duffer Brothers, I know we're a small time podcast, but if you are listening, please do not do that. If you want to take the time to rearrange everything, please do.
Please
Don't anything but that.
God.
That is
anything.
that would not be good.
All right, 2 other quick things before, because we gotta
wrap this up. but-
What's wrong with Max? Is she gonna stay like that?
like physically,
Is she gonna physically stay like blind and like that? Is she gonna remain that way, or is she gonna be like brain dead? Like, what's gonna happen?
honestly, I'd like her to, just to show that this show has consequences for the characters. Because that's kind of the one sort of thing they've been iffy on, where like all the characters are safe, plot armor. Yeah, but if they decide, they've proven that they're on stable ground if they decide to make her just part of the cast again. So, yeah, but if they have some sort of damage with her, that'd be cool for me. Yeah.
And I know some people I've talked to about this already have been like, oh, well, Sadie Sink is going to be getting a lot more projects now. And so I'm like, yeah, so is Millie Bobby Brown. She's the main star. So, and she's still doing this.
Yeah, well, she's in talks. She's in talks to be in a Star Wars
Sadie
property.
Sink can come back too. So
Yeah, and I think we're past kind of a point where like I'm a superstar diva, like that era of actor. I think they have enough respect for the Duffer Brothers and the show to come back and do it right. Just because I don't know, you don't want to be remembered as the person who ruined one of the best shows in modern history right now. So.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, looking at you, D&D. Jeez.
All right.
But yeah.
I think that's where we should stop this. We've been going for about an hour and a half now. So, yeah, right. We are Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter with the handle at Seen It Beforecast. Instagram and TikTok with the handle at Seen It Beforecast. That's SCENE at
It
Beforecast. Yeah. See, you get it. And Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan. You can also find me on Instagram with the handle at Dan the Donut Man 1. Yeah.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was. My letterboxd at GJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. And yeah, I want to take this time. This is coming out like very soon, like the next day after recording. So I think we can mention it. We want to thank everybody for subscribing to us based on that one TikTok video about lightsabers, which pissed off quite a lot of people. But we appreciate, and there's a lot of people who agree with us or agree with me.
Agree with you, yes.
A lot of shitting on us in the comments, but that's okay.
We did not mention that it was Star Killer.
That was based on the Star Killer.
Star Killer, and
yes,
from Force Unleashed. I did not know that because I never played the game. So
yeah, me neither.
I didn't know that.
So okay, good. Yeah,
but yeah, we thank everybody for subscribing to us and just giving us all love, and we really appreciate it. So, and all the people that have also called this podcast underrated, you're the real MVP. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah.
So, yeah. But as always, it's been an honor, and we'll see you next time.